So, this is what we call total investments have increased from 15.6% GDP to over 20%. In other words, there's a lot of investments are being made in Fiji. A lot more people are investing in factories and shops, warehouses, machinery, etc. Interest rates have been low. Our foreign reserves, of course, has been quite high. Most of us, I've said this before, some of you have been to these budget consultations before. Most of the things that we have today, they are not made in Fiji. This gentleman here has got a watch. That watch is not made in Fiji. He's got the flip-flops. Flip-flop may be made in Fiji, but the rubber comes from overseas. The shirt he's wearing, the fabric comes from overseas. Everything we have comes from overseas. The young girl is wearing shoes. Those shoes aren't made in Fiji. So and she's got a phone. The phone is not made in Fiji. I'm holding this is not made in Fiji. This is not made in Fiji. The fan is not made in Fiji. Tiles are made in Fiji. The cars you see on the road are made in Fiji. So when we buy these things, they come from Japan, they come from Australia, they come from New Zealand, they come from America, they come from Europe. When you buy these things, they don't sell it to us in Fijian dollars. They sell it to us in US dollars, euros, Japanese yen, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars. So that's what you call foreign currency. So in order for us to trade with them, we need foreign currency too. If you don't have enough foreign currency, you can't trade with them. You can't buy these things. Generally, if you look at, colloquially speaking, if you say if a country has very little reserves, they say, oh, the country is going bankrupt, they can't buy things from overseas. And some countries face that problem. In Fiji, we've had very high reserves now. Good, healthy amount of reserves. And today our reserve sits at about 2 billion Fijian dollars. In 2006, the foreign reserves were about $500 million. It's now $2 billion. Inflation is the cost of buying things has gone up. It went up to about 4.9%. One of the reasons, of course, fuel has gone up. We don't control the price of fuel. All the fuel in Fiji comes from overseas. Whatever price they sell the fuel at, we have to buy that price. But we price control it. Then we price control. So the price of fuel goes up, we have to pay a higher price. Price of fuel comes down, we pay a lower price. Out of our control. Yamuna, after the cyclone, went up to sugar $220 a kilo. Before Cyclone Winston, $70 a kilo. Why? Because more demand, less Yamuna plants. Simple. I know last time, once I came to Honolulu, one farmer sold $2 million worth of Yamuna. Good business. So it's supply and demand issue. So when we say price of fuel goes up, it affects a lot of things. You're running your car, your expense goes up because now you have to pay more per liter. When EFL runs the diesel generator to provide electricity to you, the cost for EFL goes up. But you're still paying the same tariff rate. The margin for EFL goes down. All those things affect the cost of living. Of course, things like vegetables, the price of vegetable goes up when you have a cyclone. Our tax rates are the lowest it's been. Before, you used to pay 35% in a company. The tax now is 20%. Now, of course, personal income tax, you don't pay any tax until you earn more than $30,000. Before, you had to pay tax if you earned more than $8,600 in 2007. Now, only if you earn more than $30,000 you pay tax. So, where are we spending the money, government? What's our strategy? Modernize infrastructure. You need to improve your market even more, your bus stand. That's what we call the infrastructure. roads, water, electricity, connectivity, which is also roads, but digital also, mobile phones. Some places you still don't have connectivity. We need to improve the connectivity. Wirelessly, the television, so you can get connected to television. And also, of course, investing in our people, maintaining stability, and again to get private sector to participate in the economy, and making sure that the policies we have, we don't chop and change all the time. People like consistency. People like stability. And that's what we're trying to provide. And that's our focus of the budget. This very quickly shows, see, there are two types of expenditure government has. One is what you call operating expenditure, your day-to-day expenses. The other one is your capital expenditure. In the budget we have two types of expenses. Operating expenditure is, we've come here today on the plane. So, the airfares, you're going to stay at your hotel over here. The accommodation cost, the running of the motor vehicles, the toilet paper civil servants use, the photocopying paper, fuel, salaries, that's what you call operating expenditure. The other expenditure is capital expenditure, things money we have to build things. Capital is when you build a nursing station, health center, school, roads, bridges, jetties, airports, water connectivity. That's what you call capital expenditure. Operating expenditure is you spend something this year, you don't see it again. Got nothing to show for it. Capital expenditure is when you build something, you'll stay there. So if you build a school today, it'll be there for the next 20, 30, 40 years. If you maintain it well, it'll be there for longer. If you build a bridge, it should be there for 80, 90 years. That's what you call capital expenditure. So any government, what they should do is increase capital expenditure, which is what we've been doing. You see, in 2006, only 15% of the entire budget money went into building things. But they spent 85% in operating expenditure. Today, we spend 41% in capital expenditure and 59% in operating expenditure. In other words, our day-to-day expenses brought it down. हम लोग अपन खर्चा कमती कर दिया है, day-to-day खर्चा. So we can use that money there to build things. That's why you see so much development taking place. That's our focus. Again, like from the Ratu Mara government days, every single government in Fiji has borrowed money. Governments aren't businesses, but we try and run it like a business. If you today go and get your birth certificate, extract of a birth certificate, it costs $2.25. Right? That's how much it costs. We don't even meet our expenses. If you add the cost of the printing, the ink, the paper, the machine, the staff, the electricity, it's more than $2.25. But it's an essential service that you must have. So that's why we give it at $2.25. So that's what government does. But to build a bridge, to build a jetty, we need to sometimes borrow money. But what we've been doing, even though we've been building a lot, we've been borrowing less money, but doing a lot more because we've been saving a lot of money. Our operating expenditure has come down, as a result of which we spend more. Then I can go into details. So you can see our debt as a percent of GDP has been coming down. It's gone up to 50% here, but it's been coming down over here. Nominal amount has been going up. Let me explain that to you. If, for example, if this gentleman here, he earns $100 and he goes and borrows $20, right? $100, he earns $100, borrows $20. What is his debt as a percentage of his income? 20%. 20 of 100 is 20%, right? He's 20%. This lady here, she earns $500. But she borrows not $20, but she borrows $50. 2.5 times more than what is borrowed. But as a percentage of her income, it's only 10%. आप लोग समझे हमको नहीं बोलता है, इसकी आमदनी है, इसके $100 कमाए, $20 कर्जा है, आप बोलेगा 20% of his income is in debt, right? 20 of 100 is 20%. अब ये लेडी कमाए हैं $500, but इसके debt है $50, 2.5 times more than what he's borrowed. But इसके है only as a percentage of income is 10%. तो इसके लगे और औकात है बोरो करे के, इसके और औकात है बोरो करे के, बिकॉज इसके कमाई ज्यादा है, समझा? तो अगर जैसे आपके कमाई ज्यादा हुए, आपके और औकात रहे टू बोरो, तो अगर आप देखेगा, आप बोलेगा व्हाट्स द बेस्ट वे मेजरिंग डेट? द बेस्ट वे मेजरिंग डेट इज नॉट द एक्चुअल डॉलर वैल्यू. The best way of measuring that is a percentage of your income. Yeah? So if he's borrowing, if he's got $100, $20 debt, 20%. $500, $50, 10%. That's a better way of measuring by way of percentage of your income, which we call GDP. But अगर आप फेस मारे इसके $50 डेट है, इसके तो खाली $20 डेट है, बट इसके औकात है अपन डेट ज्यादा पे करेंगे कि नहीं, कि उसके लगे औकात है, इसके लगे और औकात है, बिकॉज $500 कमाए. So the more you earn, you have a better prospect of paying off your debt. So you can see in dollar value, our debt today is $5.1 billion. That's the dollar value of our debt, right? As a percentage of our GDP is 50%. Used to be 53.3%. Used to be 56.2%. It's now gone to 50. The reason why it's gone up, obviously, is because of the rebuild program, because of the cyclones, and that'll come down now. So again, what's our strategy for the budget? We need to embrace the new wave of development that's taking place. We need to look at sharper things, how to improve. For example, now the sugarcane farmers are being given assistance. What are the smart things we can do that will make them produce more, better yield, improve their system, improve that economic sector? What are the other things that we can do? Perhaps in Vanwalevu they can create more jobs. They are the things that we are looking at. And of course we want to bring everybody in as part of this development. Now, we want to continue to reduce our deficit, as we talked about, after Winston in particular. We want to maintain our tax rates, maintain it low, make it attractive, streamline taxation and customs administrative processes. Also, we need to clamp down on people who are evading tax. There are some people who are still evading tax. And also to make sure that duty and tax duty concession are passed on to ordinary Fijians. You know, sometimes we reduce the duty on things. So for example, we reduce the duty from 32% to 5% or 0% on baby products. But then we find that the shopkeepers aren't reducing the price. You know, khabbu ki tarah khai le. Samjha? So for example, if something is $100, landed cost. If you add duty to it, if you take out duty, if you add 32%, just on the base face of it, you must pay $132. But when we've reduced the duty from 32% to say 5% or 0%, you expect the price to come down from $132 to $105 or $100. But we find that some of the shopkeepers, they don't pass on that. Give enough money for infrastructure development. Still a lot of places there where roads need to be improved, water. Again, we talked about water, access to electricity, investing in education, and also small to medium enterprises. We need to continue to focus on small to medium enterprises and how we can, of course, help those people, in particular the young entrepreneurs. 50% of our population is below the age of 27. 50%. Nearly 70% of the population is below the age of 40. Most of you over here are over the age of 40, from what I can see. So all of you are in the minority, including myself. So there's the people below the age of 40 who are in the majority. What kind of opportunities are we creating for them? your children, your grandchildren, when they're coming out of high school, coming out of universities, what opportunities are we creating for them? Have we got jobs lined up for them? Which areas should we have jobs lined up for them? So all of these things we need to consider in the budget. Budget is not only about living from one year to the other year. Budget is also about thinking 5, 10, 15, 20 years ahead. Sometimes people will say, oh, this policy is no good, or it's a boring budget. It's not about being boring, it's about thinking what's going to happen 5 years' time. There are many things we did 5, 7 years ago. People said, oh, what are you doing? Today they're reaping the benefits. That's how you need to think. You have to think long term. We want to, of course, increase home ownership. The rate of home ownership in Fiji is very low. We want to increase that, and we've got some policies around that we'll be rolling out. Again, social protection, this is about social welfare, making sure the right people get it. As you know, last year we started giving disability allowance. Before there was never any disability allowance. We started doing that. Support agriculture, sugar and resource-based sectors. And this is, of course, investment in digital connectivity. We've got now a submarine cable that's landed in Sabu, which means that the internet speeds and mobile connectivity in Vanua Levu will increase on a monthly basis. So, very quick presentation. I've gone through it very quickly because I wanted to have more interaction with you. So, as I highlighted, you can give your submissions. Some of you, I know in some of the submissions we've had, when people come to these things and they go away, they listen to it, then they write to us and say, this is what we want, or these are our ideas. So you can do that. You can do that up till the 26th of April. You can email it, this address, you can hand deliver it, or you can post it. If you have any contact, Shiri is here, Shiri Ganda is here. You can phone him on these numbers and he can help you with that too. As I mentioned also, you've got online consultations for students and the general public, and that's all happening next week. So please feel free, if you also want to make any submissions, you want to have any questions, and to ask in private, you can go on the Facebook next week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and you can put in your submissions or ask any questions or have any queries that you may have. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll stop there now and open up the floor. If you have any questions, queries, any submissions, like I said, please, if you have any personal problems, कुछ आप लोगों के जाती मामला है, तो पीछे वहाँ हम लोग के कुछ स्टाफ है और जाबिद है वहाँ पर जाइए, आप उसे बताओ कौन सी आपके मामला है, कौन सी प्रॉब्लम है, and then we can deal with it. Okay?
Sir, this is not my personal question which I am putting at you. I come from a farming community where we use a cane access road. The road is about 2 kilometers of road. We get a small amount of money to maintain the cane access road. That is about $1,500 to $2,000. Say a load of gravel is about $300 to $500. And to maintain that road, it is really very, very difficult. The road is also, 80% of the road is being used by the entire general public. When we go to the Commissioner Northern's office to maintain and look after the road, they ask me a question, is it a cane access? Yes, I said. So we are not going to look after that road. Say, I humbly request and plea to you, can these roads be given to the roads authority to look after and maintain about 1.5 or 2 kilometers of road? It is very, very difficult to maintain and look after the road at a small amount of money. And we humbly request if that can be possible. And we cannot stop the public to use the road because 80% of the people who are using are non-cane farmers. Okay? So they are also entitled to use the road. Say another question is, say the water authority. In 2018, about 1.5 million to 2 million has been given to the emergency water coverage. And also might be this year 2019. We humbly request and plead if permanent solutions can be looked at it. In our village and community, they deliver water, but there happens to be an old FSC borehole, which can be looked after by the water authority, maintaining clean. Reservoir is the only solution which can be put there, and for the, it is going to really save the taxpayers' money. We humbly request and plead. So we are going to come to the another dry season also, sir. And my third and the last one is about a few years ago, Bandrai, in a budget consultation, a chemical was been, I think, proposed for the Northern Division. We have got the site, and if it is going to be possible, we can produce a project paper and incentive is been given by the government to move for the chemical. And I think thank you sir very much once again for coming along to the Northern Division and to get our views. And may God bless you and your stay in the friendly note for that few days. Thank you, sir.
The Kane access road, the issues have been raised. Yes, we will be addressing that in the budget to see how best we can. It's not only 1.5 kilometers. If we add all the 1.5 kilometers throughout Fiji, it actually becomes hundreds of kilometers. So, we're looking at some solution. As you know, the Kane access road funding is currently being given to the Ministry of Sugar. But yeah, we'll be looking at some solution. Water Authority of Fiji again. Of course, we've extended the reticulated water system, but you're right, some of the solutions may actually be homegrown. So we'll be looking at that, but maybe we can just take on the details of that particular area where you're saying the borehole is, so we can alert Water Authority of Fiji. Yeah? Okay. Take the details. Thank you.
बहुत दुखी है लोग किसान लोग, तो हम लोग वहाँ उनसे बातचीत करें, यहाँ बताया दिया गया कि आप लोग का लाइसेंस नहीं दिया गया, तो हम लोग बहुत दौड़ा है, तो
कौन बताए लाइसेंस नहीं दी?
हेल्थ वाले बताए ने दिए बताए कि नहीं दिया गया, तो हम लोग पिछला हफ्ता बहुत दौड़ा,
जी,
तो फॉर्म वगैरह फिल करके दिया, तो आपने सुना कि आ जाओगे तो हम माता आपसे बात करें, भैया आप मौका दे तो हम किसान सब लाइसेंस भर दें, जिससे हम लोग रोजी रोटी।
अच्छा, but हम चलो Monday, Tuesday can get in touch with you, find out करो कौन सी है? वो शुक्रिया। अच्छा, जी, जी, जी। आप टेक्स्ट मैसेज कर रहे थे? हाँ। अच्छा, उसके दे दो डिटेल्स और फिर दे देगा। राइट? हाँ, नो वरी। लिख के दे दो पीछे। अभी नहीं भेजना। Normally, because we can't say them उसको तो वेट कर लेंगे, तो वेट के